What's up, everybody? It is Miss G. Happy New Year to everyone. Let me fix myself, y'all. I'm looking one way on YouTube and another way on Facebook. How is everyone? Hope everyone is good, is safe, and are everyone's ready for this 2025. We're going to start out. Let's put 2025. We got 2025 in the chat. We got 2025 in the chat. And I want to welcome everyone in this new year. We took a break. We had a great time with Let's Talk About Africa. Now for 2025, it is Let's Talk About Africa and Live in Africa. I'm excited for this one because we learned so much in the last one, just talking about the different countries. So we are really going to get into the nitty gritty of traveling to visit, to scout, to live on the continent of Africa. My name is Gloria. People call me Miss G. Glow, whatever fits your vibe. I am an avid solo traveler. Been to continent several times. I've focused on pretty much at this moment East Africa, but I've also been to North Africa. Have to get to West Africa and South Africa, but doing some things I got caught up. And hello, Miss Lika. Welcome. Got caught up in doing some things in East Africa. So that's where I am right now. Well, not right now, but that's where I'm concentrating on. So put if you've been to the continent, put where you've been to the continent, put in the chat because we're going to get this party started for 2025. 2025 in the chat that you ready. Put ready in the chat. So this series, as the last series, we're going to cover all of the African countries that now we covered the 54 African countries. And for a lot of those, but if you are on this group, I would assume that y'all know that Africa is a continent and not a country. So it's 54 countries within the continent of Africa. But what's crazy is there's some countries that's not even connected to the continent, but it's part of the continent. It's like, yes, for real, kind of, sort of not. But anyway, so it's 54 countries. And we went over pretty much all the 54 countries. I think we kind of fell off going towards the Christmas holiday, but it was only about 5 left, and we will cover them if they are. This series will be if you are interested in moving to the continent for a short term, long term, 4 years, 8 years, retire, whatsoever. So, fun facts are the day after the election, the searches for moving out of the United States went up 1,500%. Just a fun fact. So, and we as Americans, one good thing, Black Americans in particular, one great thing we have as being a United States citizen, that we can obtain a U.S. passport. I always say that. I'm going to intro that. I can't say enough about that privilege. We may, they may keep us behind in other privileges, but that privilege is key, because if you have a United States passport, that blue book is gold. So do me a favor, put in a 1 in the chat if you have your passport, put a 2 in the chat if you don't. And if you do not have your passport, please apply for it. I told many people, "Hi, Mr. Berna, how you doing?" I was going to make a joke and ask if you were related to Burna Boy, but I'm not going down that road. But welcome to Let's Talk About Africa. Let's talk about traveling and moving to Africa. I appreciate you getting on. This is the introduction to the series. We will be covering about 30 countries that we can actually visit and also move to. And we're going to take a deep dive. When we did the series before the holidays, we just kind of felt out each country, because there were so many questions I would get when I travel. Oh my God, is this safe, Gloria? Oh my God, are they living in huts? Oh my God, is the animals going to attack you? And I can't clown, because that's what we as Americans were fed. That was the truth that was told to us. So now that everything is so global, we are finding out things that we're like, whoa. So I'm going to try to keep this as short as possible. But hey, Miss Jeanette, thank you so much for jumping on. Thank you for being a part of the introduction to Let's Talk About Africa. Let's talk about and move to Africa. So I want to tell you a couple of, several, just to try to get the vibe and everything going. All right, because people will continue to have questions to doubt, and we're going to dismiss that. We're going to dismiss that. Okay, put 2025 in the chat that you ready for 2025. I want you to put 2025 in the chat and repatriate 2025. We're going to have this vibe going on. Put it in the chat, because I have something for you at the end, because I want this to be interactive. So I have something special for you at the end. If you throw your comments and join in. Also, do me big favor. It's not going to cost you anything. Please like this video and then share it. Just hit share. Just hit share, and it'll share to folks. Just hit share, because we want this information to spread, because we have a lot of work to do in a very short time. So ironically, and I didn't even plan to, I really wanted to start this off like January 1, but the days just didn't gel. So I said, oh, I'll do it, because I want to do it like the start of the week, because I will have a live every single day, Monday through Friday, until we get through the all of the countries. So 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Monday through Friday. And we will also, I'm trying to get people like tour operators, because Glampluxetravels, that's my company. Glampluxetravels is an Africa only travel agency. We have a trip. Well, I'm supposed to be working with a tour agent for Ghana in October, and then there is a Seychelles Fashion Week in September. Just to throw that out there, we can always talk about that later. But I wanted to say that because, hey, Miss Courtney, welcome back. Welcome back. That's part of my tribe, the Glow Tribe. Y'all part of the Glow Tribe. Yeah, that I'm getting a lot of people that may own tour companies, own lodging, people that live, African people that live in Africa and the different places that can talk to us, Americans that have already repatriated or they're there as an expat. So I come on, but I encourage. So if anybody that's in anyone, hey, Miss Jeanette, yeah, anyone that's in the chat that is in the continent now, I would love for y'all to jump on because this is all interactive. I like to hear it from people's mouths that are there. I do my research and connected with the Ministry of Tourism and all of that. We're taking deep dives into each country to see the cost of living, the quality of living, what the education system is if you're bringing kids, your retirement, if you can live on your retirement, and all of those questions are going to be answered and you're going to like the answers. So tonight I was going to do a country and I'm like, no, let's warm this up to understand why we're here, right? So I'm going to give you some fun facts. Now, repatriation, if people don't know. Hey, Cindy. Repatriation. Okay. Hey, Lottie. Welcome. All my people. Repatriation. If people get confused, and I know this to y'all may be like, why is she saying that? A lot of people don't know. So since this is the introduction of the new series, I want everyone to understand. Missy, thank you so much for coming on and welcome to the Glow Tribe. So repatriation, I have some fun facts here. Repatriation is the process of returning someone to their country of origin. So let's unpack that for a second. Let's unpack that. And people, y'all coming in, put 2025. And what I was going to say is, I did not plan to do this on January 6th. Does January 6th like ring a bell? So we got work to do. They was doing work on January 6th. We doing work today, okay? So repatriation is the process of returning someone to their country of origin. So I've heard a lot of chat. Swana, thank you so much for coming on. Welcome. A lot of chatter with American, African, American Black folks. And the response would be, oh no, I'm saying here, we built this country. I ain't going nowhere. This is my country. All of this. I don't have a balloon to burst, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Yes, very true. We built this country for free, unwilling. A lot of people served this country. And back in the day, they would go and serve this country and fight for this country and come back and have no rights. So is it really truly our country? Right? all of us with any melanin in our skin, let's keep it a buck here. Let's keep it a buck. All right. Anyone with melanin in their skin has originated, not where you were born. Let's expand our minds here. And I don't like to be shady. That's my New York. I'm just direct. I'm not being shady. Okay. I'm just calling it as it is. The US is not our country of origin, right? And it's been a narrative that, oh, well, make America great again. And when was it ever great for us? We always, we talk about that. But a lot of people that I run into say, oh, no, I'm not going anywhere. This is my country, da, 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 da. But is it really? It's probably as much our country as the white folks that say it's their country, because they came and colonized and pirated and all of that. The indigenous Indians were here first. I hate to say Indians, but the indigenous people were here already, and then the Europeans, whatever, came and colonized it. But they did that all in Africa. And if you were on any of my lives, you know that I got a bone to pick with the France and the Portugal, because they was all up in the continent saying, oh, y'all got this? Oh, y'all doing that? Oh, y'all don't do that religion. We got a better religion for y'all. Y'all put on these things, put on this clothes, and y'all do this and y'all do that. But that's just been the history, right? But now I'm excited that I live in a time where I can, what my parents never thought they would see. I saw a Black president. We thought my daddy would have loved it. My mama would have loved it. And now technology, and we're now able to see the world for what the world really is, not just through the lens of being living in America and what the Western media and America tells us America is supposed to be. So now we're finding out that people are now traveling, transatlantic and international, and seeing different places, and they're saying, whoa, this is not what they show us on TV. Why is it so different? And it's very deliberate. So what we as a people have to be now, Stephanie, thank you so much for coming on. Thank you and welcome. Please share. Please y'all like and share. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. What we have to now be is deliberate. Because on November 5th, it was very clear how deliberate this country was for the direction they want this country to go. We can pray and all that and ask the Lord. Our ancestors been doing that since slavery. I'm sorry, I'm calling it as I see it. Okay. So now we can't sit on tax and wait. Well, let's see. Well, gotta work it out. Yeah, we'll get through it. But years ago, the one thing that is more valuable than money is time. And a lot of us that's on here, we may be 50 and above. Guess what? We got more years behind us than in front of us. So let's really now just look at the American dream in a whole different way. We're in America. We have certain privileges by default. Let's use them. Let's use them. Okay, let's use them. An average house in the U.S. is $450,000. You're not getting a piece of brick. You living across the street from Dollar Tree. You have to send your kids to private schools that you can't afford. The safety, you don't know what's about to pop off where, you can't enjoy yourself. Like, that's not life to me. I don't know about to you. I don't know, but that's not life. So now we have choices. We have big choices. And as I mentioned before, with um, that blue book that the US people call a passport, honey, that's better than Bitcoin. Seriously. It's more valuable than, and people really don't realize it because they may go to the Caribbean or whatever. And it's like, oh, okay, here's your passport. But when you travel in internationally, you get a whole different type of vibe. Put a one in the chat if y'all have been to the motherland or have traveled international. Matter of fact, put in the chat where y'all have traveled. I would love to know who is on this live. Put in the chat, please, where y'all have traveled. Okay, put in the chat. Put in the chat. And I want to thank y'all so much for jumping on. Okay, so let me give, because I will roll on. Let me give you some to warm us up. Let me give you some fun facts about Africa. All right. So Africa is the motherland, and it's the motherland for a reason. Okay, it has 54 countries, and it is the cradle of humanity. I didn't make this up. Okay, the cradle of humanity is the birthplace of mankind. Not Greece, not Rome, Africa. But what we're taught in our history books, it was the Romans, and that's who, were the first. No? Janet, thank you so much for jumping on. No, it's Africa. It's Africa. Look it up. Look it up. So it's the birthplace of mankind. Has so many things. It's the only continent that has the most valuable resources. And let me just roll off what some of those resources are. Y'all probably already know, right? So the resources is a long list. Okay. So where my notes? I look at the notes because I be okay. Dun, 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 dun. Okay. Gold, diamond, oil, gas. And ironically, T, Val, how are you? Welcome, welcome. And they keep it on a low. So we already know about the diamond thing, right? And there's so many countries that's actually sitting on diamonds and it's untapped. We told a story about Botswana. If people remember Botswana back in the day, it was like all bush, basically a bush type of Dubai. You know how Dubai was all just desert. Botswana was all bush. And when Botswana claimed its independence and started developing the country, they found out that they were sitting on diamonds in the land. Like the whole continent of Africa is made of gold, diamonds, the whole nine. And I say the continent because Africa also, fun fact, has island countries like Seychelles and Mauritius. They're not connected to the continent. and they have no resources. They have to import everything. So we're going to get into that when we go through every single country and do deep dives of, like I said, the cost of living, all that. But let's go on with the resources. Okay. So of course, large resources of gold, diamonds, oil, the oil and gas. Yeah, the oil and gas. Africa is one of the largest players in the global energy market. Did y'all know that? They say that like Saudi Arabia is Africa. Anybody have, well, this is a charger, but my cell phone I'm taping. Everybody has a cell phone. Everybody has a cell phone. The key component, and I know people have heard this, but I just want to repeat it because of all the resources. The key component to make your cell phone work is in the lithium battery. And that mineral that's in, or whatever, I forgot this, the ion. Don't get me the line. I'll get the correct word in the live tomorrow. But what is in the lithium battery to make our cell phones work? They are mining it out of Africa to the point where it's almost like they built like almost a city where the people that work, and it's a lot of controversy because of course they're mining it, making money, having child labor and all that. But every single cell phone, the component that makes the cell phone work, comes from Africa. It's mined out of Africa. Okay. What else? So also, some other timber is out of the country of Congo and Gabon, timber. And then the Ivory Coast is the largest producer of cocoa. Ethiopia and Uganda is the largest producers of coffee. But do they advertise that? Mm-mm. They say Juan Valdez and all that. Do you see how the Western media is deliberate? Put deliberate in the chat. Yeah. Put deliberate in the chat. I'm not playing. Put deliberate in the chat because we got to be deliberate. Because that's what we have been doing the whole time, not being deliberate. So, anywho, so the Ivory Coast has cocoa, Ethiopia and Uganda has coffee, and Kenya is the tea. It's a tea capital. I would have never known because they always advertise the tea as an English thing. It's from Kenya. So it's like one thing after another, after another, after another, after another, after another. All right. So just getting us warmed up to really appreciate what comes out the continent of Africa, other than, as they want to say, huts and little kids that's starving with flies around their head. That's not what's going on in the continent. Has anyone been to the continent? I have not seen that yet. Has anyone been to the continent? Put a yes in the chat for me, please. Put a yes in the chat. Has anybody? Y'all quiet. See, I can't have a quiet group. Miss Yvette, thank you so much for jumping on. We would like to know who has been to the continent and where have you been? Okay. All right. So we talked about the resources that Africa, the motherland, that's not a tagline. That's some real stuff because we are the birthplace of humanity. The oldest fossil of a human remains was found in Ethiopia. Found in Ethiopia. Okay. Africa has the largest desert, not the Middle East, but Africa. All right. Has the Sahara Desert, and it has the oldest desert in Namibia. Okay. Bussa boy, what's up? Thank you for jumping on. Thank you for jumping on. And it also has the longest river in the world, the Nile River. And the Nile River stretches over 4,100 miles. It's crazy. Can you believe that? Into like two countries. The Nile River. And also in Africa is over 2,000 languages spoken. And Nigeria is doing about 500 all by themselves. Another cool and crazy thing is it has the oldest university. The university is in Morocco, and it's called Al Qarawin, and it was founded in 859 AD. Is that crazy? That was before Christ. No, that's after Christ, right after. The church folks, I'm gonna get it was 859 AD. 859 AD, and it's still in operation. Crazy. Miss Ernestine, thank you so much for coming on. Welcome. We will be having this live on Let's Talk About and Move to Africa Monday through Friday at 9 p.m. Tomorrow, this was an introduction to, just talk about Africa and our choices and different things. And tomorrow I'll start on the countries. I'll probably start with Angola, Algeria. But tomorrow we will start and we'll go alphabetical order like we did before. And we will go into a deep, deep dive about all the aspects. If you want to travel there on vacation, if you want to scout, if you want to do like a scout during because Africa's a long trip, when you are on your vacation and you want to do some scout and look at real estate, but we're going to really find out what the deets are before you eat, so you can choose if you are thinking about making some choices. You will have that information. We will be bringing in people from different countries, and they will chat about their experience. It will be indigenous people. It will be expats. So we'll get a variety of people. Yeah. So some other great stuff I have, because I'm not going to keep you all on long. Usually it goes for an hour because we just get into so much. I tried to keep it to 30 minutes. That never worked. Okay. And as you see, we're at 35 minutes. So also it has very rich biodiversity. Okay. In Madagascar, in that one little country, it has over 5% of the world's bio, like the tropical, the animals, everything, just in Madagascar. And anyone that is really into eco travel, Madagascar is it. Definitely a place to visit. Like that's the ultimate trip. Okay, the ultimate trip. Anybody have any questions so far? Everyone's so quiet. I don't like folks being quiet. I want folks to jump in and ask questions and all of that. Um, and as I mentioned before, Africa, we only think like Africa is the one continent. Africa has also island countries that's not even connected to the mainland. And so I know a lot of people have heard of Seychelles and Mauritius, and then there's some other what was that other one? Principal. Um, yeah, I forgot. Sao and Principal. Those are like private islands, and we'll get into that tea later about why they are the way they are. But as I said, that even though they have island countries, the countries have been produced, okay? And we'll get to it why it's been produced to be made a certain way, but it does not have that culture of what the mainland has. It is totally different, but it's still considered to be an African country. What else? Africa also was the birthplace of all music genres. Birthplace of all the music genres. So, I mean, what else do we need to, to look for? Let me see. Yeah, I found over 30 countries we'll be talking about to possibly move there. Who is planning on visiting or moving to the country in 2025? Put a one in the chat for me, please. Put a one in the chat. You got choices. Put a one in the chat. I got choices. I got choices. Some other cool stuff is Ethiopia was the only African country that was never colonized. They never had to basically buy back their freedom. So that was cool. And also, Ethiopia has churches to this day that was carved out of rock in the 12th century, and they're still around today. It's like Africa's crazy. If anyone's gone to Egypt and saw the pyramids, it's like you see them, but you're like, is it real? No, it's really an eighth wonder of the world. It's crazy. And then when you know it was built before Christ, that is really, really crazy. Really, really crazy. And pulling it all together before I close, and I have some good stuff for you. So I'm gonna reach out and because I do want to send y'all something, but to just pull it on in as of today that they were trying to keep back from us. Africa has some outstanding modern cities like Lagos, Nairobi, Johannesburg, Casablanca, and those cities, along with others, are growing exponentially crazy because in the continent, a lot of their demographics are young, talented, educated. So they have like top tier talent in these areas that's growing. A lot of the demographics are under like 25, 30. So it's a longer span. Unfortunately, that's different in the United States. I think it's older here. And the talent pool isn't like it shouldn't, especially now that AI is coming in. I am very nervous about how the United States can really flourish. But economists have reluctantly admitted that the continent of Africa will, not maybe, will produce the next round of millionaires, billionaires, and in African money, trillionaires within the next 2 decades, because how the economy and the growth of Africa is going. So, this is a perfect time to jump in, to get positioned, live that real American dream, make your money here. And if anyone's over retirement, or you don't even have to be over retirement, you save some money, you sell your stuff, and live the American dream internationally, in the continent, in our country of real origin. We definitely have to play chess and not checkers, and be deliberate. Deliberate. So that is where we are right now. And it was another cool fact. So, as I said, it's going to roll out the next span of millionaires and billionaires within the next 20 years. And at this point, other great things about the continent is the food in certain places. They don't have to advertise it's organic, because it is. I spent time in Kenya for about 3 months. I went to the market. I made my food. I went to the market like every other day because the food was fresh. And they didn't have organic this or whatever. If you ate a chicken, they killed. I was at a restaurant, literally, and I asked the owner, "Oh, y'all are cutting up the chicken?" Or I asked the head cook. I said, "Oh, when did y'all get the chicken? When did y'all kill the chicken?" And I'm thinking it's maybe like yesterday, a day or two. And they were like, "This morning." I said, "A damn." I've been on the beach where the fishermen are coming out the water with lobsters in their hand, taking them to the beach restaurants to cook at that moment. I've seen and experienced. I bought fish from the fishermen coming out of the beach, and like they have white snapper, not red snapper, white snapper in Kenya, like real big, and come they're coming out the water. Do you want to buy it? Yeah, they will go and fillet it right there, put it in a bag of ice, you take it home and you eat it. Isn't that life? I think that's life. And what makes it even sweeter is that the cost of living in the continent varies between 30% to 95% cheaper than living in the United States, your cost of living. Your monthly cost of living could vary from like $400 a month. Now, this is not your apartment, but your dailies. $400 a month to, I think the most expensive was Mauritius, and that was about $1,500 a month. How much y'all paying for costs for your monthly expenses? Just a question. So I want to thank everyone. My name is Gloria, Miss G, Glow, anything, and I will be on live on Africa Awaits Monday through Friday, 9 p.m. I want to thank everyone for jumping on. I'll be reaching out to y'all because I do want to send y'all a cool gift on things that you need to know before you move abroad or to Africa. I want to send you that free booklet. And I will see y'all tomorrow, and we will be talking about Angola. Thank you so much, and have a great night.